viewers, we're here for the next in my series of interviews with the leaders of some of our affiliates. And today I have with me Thomas Sheedy, who is the founding president, no less, of Atheists for Liberty. Hello, Tom.
Hi, John. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure. How the devil are you?
I'm doing quite freaking good. I know the situation is quite intense in the States, and I know the same is in the UK right now. And I'm just glad that over the course of these last few months, we've been able to sort of come together and still discuss a lot of the critical ideas that need to be mentioned in these times.
Thank heavens for the internet, eh?
I guess for lack of a better statement. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about yourself. How did you A, get to be an atheist, or B, get to be who you are, where you are today?
So for the first 15 years of my life, I was raised Roman Catholic by a semi-strict, but I guess not as Orthodox Catholic family. As I started to develop more, get into my adolescence, I started to really question the dealings of the church, how they perceive certain social issues in the United States. Particularly, this is around when same-sex marriage was a really heavy topic. And I started to really question why religious institutions in a secular, modern country would really care that much about what consenting, civilized adults would do in their own free time. And I started to really come to the conclusion that it was simply these ideas, these fictions, these fables that people were taught that have no merit in reason, no merit in logic, that is making people push useless policy that ends up just getting in the way of people's livelihoods.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I would say I was around 15 years old. This was in 2013, actually, when I saw a Bill Maher skit from 2005. He was talking about how, this is in one of his comedy specials, about how when he was younger, mercury was in a lot of medicines. It was in a lot of vaccines, a lot of shots, a lot of things like that. And how later on, we as a society, scientists, people in medicine, they start to discover that mercury was quite harmful to human beings. And later on, we started to not have mercury in medicine. We started to not have these harmful poisons later on when treating people. And he said, later on, I got mercury drilled out of me, and you can do the same thing for Catholicism. And I remember it was at this one very moment when I was watching this YouTube snip that I just completely lost it. I realized, oh my God, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. This doesn't make sense. And that's okay. And I'm going to live a healthy, normal life without, continuing a religious experience. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it, how religious people are obsessed with sex, the sexuality of others, and their sexual behaviors. An expression I like to use is priests and pastors love to stick their noses into our genitalia.
Yeah, maybe nose is definitely would be the appropriate phrase, I guess you could say.
Anyway, moving on. Your part of the world is fairly unique. I mean, you're not in the Bible Belt, so you don't get victimized as an atheist. You don't have to stay in the closet in case you might, lose your job or not be able to get accommodation. But I think you've got some issues where you are, haven't you?
Yes. So throughout the last 20 years, when the atheist movement has really started to gain steam, we've really grown a lot of great nonprofit organizations that are doing what they can on a daily basis to fight for the separation of church and state. Orgs like the Freedom from Religion Foundation, many of the other organizations within these our secular coalition down in Washington. We're doing the best we can to maintain what our founding fathers envisioned. A government that is non-intrusive, that gives people the freedom to believe or not believe at all. A government that doesn't choose sides when it comes to religious preference. And over the last 30, 40 years, you've seen the rise in what is known as the religious right, this force that wanted to inject Christianity, inject religion more into our public policy, and more of how we interact with the world, and more of how we interact with people on the state level and in local counties, and it's really just not done a lot of good in my view, in my opinion. For our civilization, for atheists who are trying to just simply say, I'm a patriotic American too, I don't believe in any of this stuff. We live in a secular country where I should have the freedom to not believe. This is not, you know, European feudal society. This is not the Middle East. This is not the Islamic world. This is the United States. This is an enlightened society where we shouldn't have religious law dictating how we live our lives or how this country should be governed. And we've done a fantastic job, I would say, on from a legal perspective, at challenging. I hate to use this word now because of what social justice activists have done. Religious privilege. We've really challenged religious privilege in the United States by using quite effective means. Although
fair usage.
I'm sorry.
It's a fair usage of the expression.
Yes, yes, exactly. And we still have quite a lot of work to do, but I would argue that secularism, at least, is winning in the U.S.
Well, that's good news. And as you know, a secular world is the strapline for AAI. So if there's anything we can ever do to help your campaigns or your initiatives, just let us know.
Thank you very much. And I do want to just say one thing without going into much detail, not to get anyone into any mess here. AAI has gotten into a lot of feuds recently. It's faced a lot of backlash, really unfairly, and due to much of the drama that has engulfed the atheist community over the last several years. I want to make myself very clear to all your viewers. Atheist Alliance International is a fantastic organization that saves lives, that does a lot of work. Sure, there are other organizations out there, but there are certain orgs that have access to only certain programs, certain campaigns. Yeah. AAI, they have a presence at the UN. Why are we targeting an international organization that is doing good work, that is professional, that has a status at the UN, that is saving lives around the world over simple first world problems that really normal, sane adults really shouldn't care that much about? And we should move forward for a better society. We should move forward for a stronger, better movement, for the sake of a stronger, better movement. And I want to say, John, you have done a fantastic job at combating many of these ridiculous and silly and pointless accusations. And I must say, bravo to you and bravo to the AAI team.
Well, thank you for that, Tom. As you know, we as you said, we're in the UN. We have consultative status at the UN, but you may not know that we also have participation status on the Council of Europe, that we have a gold star by Guide Star for our transparency, for our, the website and everything that we do online. And next year is our 30th birthday of being a charity.
Well, I must say, I will say this right now on behalf of your friends in the United States. Happy birthday to Atheist Alliance International. I'm proud to be here celebrating with you.
Well, it's next year, and we're planning to have an international party. Watch this space. Tom, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Take the rest of the day off.
I'll do my best.